There are 1,200 names, but a lot of these nonprofits are profits that haven't done business, may have just gone defunct, didn't tell the IRS, didn't file a goodbye story. But there were others that I was kind of surprised at. The Lighter Than Air Society, the folks who were the blimp followers, they actually had 2 taxpayer ID numbers for some reason. One of them was defunct. The other one they're operating and they're in good stead. There were a score of Knights of Columbus chapters, FOP chapters that, you figure it was paperwork. And then there was Love Akron.
Yes.
And so, and you shared with me the experience of trying to work with the IRS and exactly what happened. In a nutshell, what happened?
Yeah. Well, first of all, Ed, I want to say thank you for giving me the opportunity to come here and clarify. I want to, first of all, say that my relationship and experience with the IRS has been wonderful. And I don't want to shed any kind of negativity toward them because I have worked with them here in Akron. They are some of the nicest people I have ever met. And we have had nothing despairing to say about them, the IRS. They're simply doing their job. But for us, we, in 2007, applied for 501c3 status and received it. And the last thing my attorney said when he congratulated us is, now you must fill out a 990EZ form every year. And so when we hired our accountant, I said, this is something that we must do every year. We felt we had. I have the documents that shows that we had. They're in our records, but they're not in the IRS's records for whatever reason. I cannot say. We did receive a letter from the IRS thanking us for our 2010 report. So how 2010's there and 207, 208, and 209's not there, I don't have an answer. I just know this, that they have a job to do. We have a responsibility to do our part of it. And I'm here to say to all of my colleagues that are involved in 501c3s to do due diligence when it comes to these forms, because there's a reason they ask us to fill out these forms, and it's not to give us a hard time. And there are forms that not only need to be mailed in, but I've found out, since we have hired a professional service to help us now with this, that there are forms you need to have in your office so that if the IRS walks in off of the street and they ask for a particular form that documents numbers and such, that you can hand it to them. So it's really to our advantage and wisdom to find out what are these forms, keep them up to date, so that we don't run into these difficult times.
When you and I had talked, and we've got about a minute to go, just very quickly, when you and I had talked earlier, you said that one of the things that struck you is there were a lot of nonprofits, shady or otherwise, that came on after 9/11
Yes.
because they saw that as a gold mine to raise money.
To hide, too.
And I think that was the intent behind a lot of these original
Sure.
laws, to try and crack down on that. So when you look at this list that we have posted, it's a list of people that for one reason or another aren't doing business
Right.
or haven't done. But I think it's important to get that message out that there are a lot of tax-exempt businesses that are still worthy of tax-exempt donations and charitable donations. The paperwork may have just gotten lost, which happens in that big black hole known as the federal government.
Well, if you're going to get tax-exempt money, then you need to be sure that you're doing it all right.